Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex, and this is the second part of our Peugeot 5008 rebuild. It's the weekend now, the sun is shining, and we are hopefully going to have a few hours to try and get this partly back together. We took all the rad pack off, bumpers, etc. in the last episode. If you saw that, if not, check it out. Now we've got to try and straighten this bracket. I have started to put a bit of a tool in there to push it forward, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to try and twist the bracket. So, but we'll give it a go. If not, we're going to have to try and pull it forwards rather than push it. Got a bit of company today, wherever the dog is. Come along to keep me company. So we'll crack straight on and see if we can straighten this bracket. Okay, so I don't know if you can see there, but it's trying to part it here, which isn't ideal. That is not what we want. We may need some heat. Okay, we're set up slightly different now. Put a bolt in here to try and keep that in place. Okay, so that's somewhere near. Just depends how far it's going to spring back when we release it. Quite a way. So we're going to have to go a bit more. Thinking if I can hit this part here. I don't know if you can see that. So if I can hit this part here just to take the stress out of it, it might just stay there. Okay, so that seems to have done the trick. You can see now that that is nice and straight compared to what it was. So I think we now need to get the cooling pack in and see if it all fits up as it should. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to use the original radiator because the guys that have purchased this off for speed, I understand they got to do it quick, but they cut the actual plug off the fan, and it doesn't plug in this end. So I could just take the fan off the back, but to be honest, the one that's on it does look in better condition. I'm going to have to use the air con, although I don't really need to use that either, because we know that that one was holding pressure after my mishap in the last video. Just that one's quite bent. I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite bent. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll use the air con off that, coolant original. These things must bend quite easy, because this one isn't the straightest I've ever seen either. Yep. Yep. Wait. Okay, so that is on. Connect our aircon pipes back up. Just push that bush back in, because that had come loose. Okay, so we've got a replacement one of these. I thought that would have been ideal, because it's got this air box on it, but it turns out that that's different to the one that's on there. So you can see this pipe comes out at an angle, this one comes out straight. The original one's got an angle, so we can't use that. There was a slight crack on the original. I was saying that. And we might not be able to use the original either, because I don't know where that part's gone. Yeah, we might not even be able to use the original, because that's, I think, maybe cracked beyond repair. Well, I'll have a dig into that, have a look and see what we can do, and then we'll get this new one bolted on, then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so yeah, we're all right to use the original one, so we need to take this one off out of the way. We also need to replace this sensor because the one that was on it it's had the wires, the plug pulled off, which is again annoying. And I don't think we can do that. No, I'd rather use the new latch than the old one, because obviously that's had the bonnet pulled out of it, and it might be pretty bent. So you can see it's just the bonnet switch that just clips on. Oops, broke that. Good job we don't need it. And push the new one on in place. And then if we can, we'll get the cable on before we... I need some pliers though. Okay, so that's the old one off. New one. Let's get that clip out of the way. Someone broke the clip on this one anyway. That is the only problem when you buy from a breaker's yard, is they're pretty keen to get everything off quickly. So sometimes stuff does get broken, but it's still very handy. It's better than buying new. These type of repairs wouldn't be possible if you had to buy everything new, to be honest. There's not enough profit in it anyway. Okay. That seems to be looking better. The only thing is I think I've come a little bit too far. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe I have. Doesn't quite line up. Oh, I see why. We've pushed out a little bit on there, so it doesn't quite want to go in, come forward enough. It's no bother though. We can sort that out. In fact, I think I can still get the bolt in there. Seems an angle that way, but I can't see how that can be. I'm assuming that's how it's meant to be, because nothing nothing else is bent. So it must sit at a slight angle for some reason. Yeah, I'll go back. It's definitely seated correctly. So it obviously just sits at a bit of an angle. Okay, so I'm trying out some 8 amp batteries that I got off TikTok. I don't know if they're going to be any good, but the batteries are just so expensive that I thought I'd give it a go. They cost me £30 for 2, which I thought was cheap. But usually they're cheap for a reason, so we'll see how they go. They're 13s. Okay, so this is kind of the moment of truth, really, as to whether this is all back in the same place. And it's far from it. Okay, so I think you can probably see that. You know, that should be right this way. So they've got to still come forward a lot. And this side as well. The whole thing's got to come forward quite a bit. $20–30 mil perhaps. So we're not quite there yet. Okay, so I've got this all back on. I pushed it forward a little bit more, but I was thinking it's got to go forward far too much. And then I noticed these brackets here are actually bent that way. Now, whether that's just from packing them, because they are pretty flimsy. So you can see when I bend them forward, it goes into place. So I think what I'm going to do is take these brackets off, straighten them, and then we should be good. But yeah, it was baffling me for a while. I was thinking I can't be that far out. But yeah, once they're straight, we're there. So we'll get those straight and go from there. straight. Straight. Lovely. That's looking a lot better now. Yes, that's ideal. Okay, so that's all back together. I think I'll get that air box back on. That's what's left of that. Okay, so the airbox had a slight crack just there, so I've glued that, which should be fine. Perfect. Fits absolutely perfect. That is good news. That's all in. I don't think there's any need to trial fit the bumper yet, because we've got to sort this wing out. So that's the next challenge, I think. Okay, so I was trying to avoid taking the arch liner out, but unfortunately it's got to come out. So the wheel's got to come off for that, I think. If I can just get that one there out, we might have enough room to use my pliers trick. Okay, so we got the wheel off. We can get this, we might not need to take this out completely now. I think I can get to it. Yeah. Saves having to take the whole liner out. that out the way. Okay, we got one here. Okay, so I think there must be one under here, under this cover. Yes, so this trim here has got to come off. Okay, so it looks all good under there. We've got a bit of a scratch there, that's fine. This bracket here looks slightly bent down, so we'll straighten that. This bracket here is slightly bent up, I think. But other than that, I can't actually see anything else. So hopefully it should be pretty much a straight swap. But we'll straighten those few pieces, get the new wing, and have a go. Okay. Don't know yet if that bit is bent. It can't be bent forwards. It's going the wrong way. I'd expect it to be bent that way. So I think that'll be fine. Now what we're going to do about this door, but obviously I can't reuse it, but I don't want it to hit the new wing. So I'm going to straighten it. Right, we'll get the new wing and give that a trial fitting. Okay, that seems to fit pretty well. I think we'll get the headlight, make sure that fits and lines up. Then we'll try the bumper on. I'm not tightening everything up because obviously this is all going to have to come off to be sprayed. So Okay, so we're slightly off. I think possibly I've come too far forward with this bracket, because I can't see how this would all have gone back that way, so I have to have gone too far forward, which is annoying because I'm not sure how I can go back. We're going to need to push against something. We're not far off. I'll just show you what I mean. So this hole here is meant to be over there. If I push that over, you can see that the hole is then back here. So this whole bracket needs to go that way. I've obviously just come, when I've been pushing that, I've come a little bit too far forward. But everything else is spot on. Yeah, we're going to need to push against something, I think. Okay, so we've got the car outside up against an RSJ. It's a little bit Heath Robinson, I know, but hopefully that should work. Let's get the headlight. Okay, so we're almost there. Trouble is the headlight's got to come out. I can't push on it with the headlight there because it's too low down. Let's see where that is. That's in the way now. Okay, so we're getting there. Let's see. We can now see the hole, but we've got to go a little bit more. Oh, the car's moving. Yes. I might need to chock the wheels. We'll just see if it's come back enough. It's almost there. Almost there. In fact, it is there. Oh. I can get a screw in at that. We'll maybe go a touch more and then we're there. I'll just show you that. So you can see now I can actually get it sits in its little locator there. And I can get a bolt in there. Great stuff. Okay, so I tweaked it a little bit more. You can see that's perfect now. It's all fitting well, other than where the door is, because that's got to be replaced. Just got to get the bolt in there now. And we're winning. Okay, so we've got lights on. Next thing to do is trial fit the front bumper, then the bonnet, and then it's stripped down to get it all sprayed. I still haven't got a door yet. I'm trying to find one. I did find one in white, but it's actually in Spain. I don't really fancy getting it shipped over. It's a long way to go and potential for damage, so we'll probably just get another colour, black again. Probably there are some black ones available. I think I'll leave it there for this episode, but thank you again for joining in, and please like and subscribe and leave any comments. Always like to see the comments, some bad, some good, but it's always good to see them. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.